I want to watch this mullet having fucker.
Back to the channel. Really hope all that stuff that's going on and all that is going still, except the bad stuff. Okay, knock it off. It is a beautiful, sunny,
See, this is what I mean, chat, when I talk about like gray names. When we talk about gray names coming in and just saying the most insane shit on the planet. Okay?
breezy Southern California spring day. So I thought, why don't I ruin that by poisoning my brain with some Manosphere YouTube shorts. Ever since I started watching these to make videos about them, the feed has been even more clogged with them to the point where they're just always there. Every time I'm scrolling through, maybe I want to watch something that's kind of normal, there they are, because they know I clicked on it once, and misogyny is a cash cow for engagement. I've seen a lot of you comment talking about how your own feeds have this problem as well, even if you watch normal, chill.
You know, I'm so happy because I feel like a lot of people get recommended a lot of like Andrew Tate garbage. And it's possible that like it has to do with the fact that I selected like female or whatever, or like woman or whatever. So maybe it just doesn't send those to me. My reacts are great. My YouTube shorts, I always get amazing stuff. I do not get bad stuff at all. Like, look at this. Look, my shorts are great. Make viral street food at home, and it's like an ice cream bar. Valkyrie goes after Ludwig after he gets her with a Lemmy. A sweet Anita on Anthony Padilla. Why is this my least liked hyper realistic cake? I just get good stuff. It's actually, and which is crazy because I watch a lot of conservative content on this channel because it's my channel for streaming. And I only get good stuff. Only. It's like, don't trust grocery stores when buying this. How to upgrade your oatmeal. I don't get anything bad. It's great. It's actually wonderful.
Content that isn't weird and freakish, you still get recommended it. So something to watch in the future moving forward. Let's begin.
Girls should be cleaning. I don't go call me a sexist. Women should be cleaning. If you come into my house and something is off, fix it. Clean.
Call me a sexist, okay? Call me a sexist for holding one of the most foundationally sexist beliefs.
Well, because let me tell you something. I'm not gonna think twice if we're out in public and someone assaults you. I'm gonna do something, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna, gotta be a guy. Gotta protect her.
Gotta be a guy.
Gotta be a guy.
Me when my opponent in a fight is Myron Gaines. Being a guy. Oh no, fuck, I'm so scared.
Why is it that a man's responsibilities are static, but a girl's responsibilities are negotiable?
Do you think that's from your personal experiences or in general?
This is my experiences and in general. We have 11,000 plus guys in here, almost 2 o'clock in the morning. There's obviously a problem with females.
And I think
There's a problem with females. There's a problem. Yeah, they won't stop fucking shopping, bro.
We got 11,000 guys paying money to degrade women at 2 o'clock in the morning. Clearly, they are the problem. Clearly, this is a normal thing that we're doing here, and we're here for a reason. So, look, I'm fully aware that these guys play up their crazy takes for engagement, to get people to do exactly what I'm doing right now, which is share their content. But the reality is, attitudes like this are extremely prevalent in the real world. Despite a pretty radical shift over the years regarding the percentage of couples that have both people working full-time, the expectations about housework really haven't changed at all. This graph is of couples that are both working full-time, and we see here that 38% of those women working full-time are still responsible for the majority of household responsibilities. And funnily enough, that's actually one of the leading causes of divorce. One of the most commonly cited reasons for divorce is not feeling supported emotionally or with things like household duties and chores. So on the one hand, the Manosphere will complain all day long about how women are divorcing men in droves.
Divorces in the West can't.
It's just really sad that like the average conservative brain only has like 2 brain cells. Like they just aren't capable of thinking one step further. Like they see women are divorcing men higher than men are divorcing women, and they don't think like, why is this happening? Why are women divorcing men more than men are divorcing women? What do the scientists say about that? Or like with the pay gap, where conservatives would be like, actually, the wage gap isn't real once you account for choice. I'm very smart. And it's like, okay, well, why are women picking jobs that pay less? I feel like this is worth exploring. I feel like we should find out why this is happening, you know? Or it's the same thing with the people who are be like, 1350, 1350. I don't know if you know 1350. It's like, okay, how about we address why this is happening? Is it potentially because of all of these policies? Because there's no science that shows that like there is like a significant difference in the male brain and like the female brain. Like the best information we have on the topic is that men are a little bit better at spatial tasks and that women are a little bit better at multitasking. And that's it. Like the average intellect of like a man and a woman is going to be the same. You are not going, there isn't like this huge discrepancy, you know? There's nothing there. It's not real. None of it is real. So why don't we, if there is no major intellect difference between men and women, why are women picking jobs that pay less? Maybe we should think about the reasons why this is happening, you know?
Canada, United States, etc., are initiated by women, and over 50% of marriages end in divorce. So I think there's a problem here.
And then when it comes to doing basic things around the house, they advocate for the opposite of that.
Girls should be cleaning. I don't go call me a sexist. Gotta be a guy.
I always have to read the comments on these because I think they're very interesting and indicative of the sort of lack of critical thinking that is promoted by viewing short form content like this. Facts. If a tire needs changing, no one thinks twice about who should do it. But when a house needs cleaning, all of a sudden we take turns. If you're having to change your tires as often as your wife cleans the house, you should not be driving. Teamwork makes
How often do you change the tire? Also, most people I know don't even change their own tires. They just go to a tire shop and then they change it there and then they just pay like the $100 and get it fixed. Like what?
the dream work. Yeah, we're a team. This is an equal amount of responsibilities that we have. This arrangement is fine, and she's definitely not gonna leave me soon. Cleaning is for a woman very, very, very good for her health, and mine, it calms a woman down. That's a fact. Babe, look, I know you say you're upset about having to wipe my butt for me, but have you considered the fact that it'll actually make you feel better and more calm? Have you thought about that?
I think it pushes us backwards if we're just expecting men to be the breadwinner all the time. Women can be the breadwinner. And also not every woman wants to be a stay-at-home mom if she's making bread, you know, like, and if the husband's like fine with it. There's so many stay-at-home dads nowadays too.
That all sounds, you know, reasonable.
That actually sounds really reasonable. That sounds very reasonable.
We'll go completely uncontested.
There's so many stay-at-home dads nowadays too. And
yeah, but that's not happy. I don't think that's a very fulfilling and happy relationship.
Okay. Well,
I don't think that's a...
This is always the weirdest thing about conservatives in general. Like, a couple will walk up to an average conservative and be like,
"Holy shit, has been 16 months."
Baloney, thank you for the 16 months. Like, a couple will walk up to a conservative and they'll be like, well, we're very happy. This is our arrangement. And both of us are 100% satisfied. And the conservative's like, well, I disagree. Well, I disagree. I don't think you guys are actually happy because I said so. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, what?
A very fulfilling and happy relationship for those two. It's not the ideal scenario. Like, we're trying to pretend like the arrogance that we have in this generation to think that what's worked for humans for thousands of years.
I'm so tired of this narrative that like men have been breadwinners for thousands of years. It's like, it's so uninformed. It's so genuinely uninformed. It's sad and it's pathetic. Oh, God. You know what else we did for a very long time? Die of syphilis, okay? It doesn't mean that it was good. Just because we've done something for a long time doesn't mean that it was good. I mean, what, you're gonna look back and be like, well, we owned slaves for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. And suddenly all these liberals are like, slavery is bad because owning people is wrong. You guys are just gonna question things that we've done forever? Sounds like the woke mob. It's so stupid.
We somehow know better because we have an iPhone and we have Instagram.
This arrangement has worked, okay? It's worked Really, for humans, it's worked well. For all humans, every single one of them, it's been great. Why would you want to change that? Why? This is arrogance, okay? You got your Instagram and all the snack chat and all this crap, and now you think you know better than our monkeys.
Oh, we're better than our grandparents, and our great-grandparents, and our great-great-great-grandparents who lived and strived through much harder living conditions.
Yeah, they were also dumb as fuck and they couldn't read, dog. Okay? So yeah, I do think I'm a little bit smarter than my fucking grandparents who didn't have an education. Yes, I do think so, actually. I do. And I don't think that that is a form of hubris to recognize that, like, our standard of living is better, our access to education is better, our general intellect is better. So maybe we do know better. I don't know.
We could ever possibly imagine, and they did it successfully because the mother stayed at home and raised the kids, and the man went out and brought home the bacon.
The divorce rate.
Oh my
is
god, hi
50%.
Oxy!
Now,
Yeah.
and look what we're doing.
Now that women can file for divorces legally, of course, these bitches are leaving. I wonder why the divorces are.
This is the saddest thing too. At the end of the day, it feels like it's just like, it feels like men are just mad. That there are just these conservative men that are mad that now women can get divorces. So they actually have to bring something to a relationship other than earning money. They're like, wait, I actually have to be like entertaining and fun to be around and like a cool human being that my wife loves? But that's fucking work. But I don't want to do that. What?
Are happening. Could it be from legally binding financial dependence? Could it be from women not being able to have bank accounts? No, it's your damn Facebook. It's you always on that damn phone. This guy's like one of Andrew Tate's friends, I think. But I remember seeing another clip of him talking about how he has like 3 girlfriends and he can cheat on them, but they can't cheat on him or something like that.
You currently have 3 girlfriends. How do you pitch it to a new girl?
Depends what mood I'm in on the first date, really. Like sometimes on the first date, I'll just straight up say I'm gonna cheat on you.
You can pay him $70 and he'll make your penis bigger, apparently. So he's a very traditional guy, super into old-fashioned values, a working man, a modern-day coal miner, you see.
I would go hard, no contact, straight to the gym. When I say no contact, let me be very clear. Don't unfollow her, but make sure you can't see her stories. You don't watch her stories. You don't reach out to friends. You don't watch your friends' stories. Go completely cold.
Why should you unfollow her?
You don't unfollow her because you're showing emotion. You need to be able to stand in that fire and not look.
Me when my house is burning down. This is making me stronger, and I'm not looking, and it's not. It's all, nothing's going on.
If you unfollow her, you're doing it out of anger. And then you got to go through the process of following back. You got to walk away, go work on you. And I can guarantee you, my friend, if you can truly stay to no contact and you go get better, she'll be back.
Unfollowing her is emotional. That's super, showing all this, being a baby. You should instead go through the trouble of muting all of the ways she can post. Going to the gym every day, thinking about how you're going to prove her to be an idiot for leaving you. And then once you get to the certain level of bicep strength, that's when you send her a photo of your muscles and she'll come crawling back. That's definitely not an emotional thing to do. It's very stoic even. Obviously breakups are tough, when they happen. Sometimes you got to unfollow people or mute them or whatever. That's just the reality of dating in the social media age. But this shit's just weird. It's just weird. Mainly because if someone's actually going to take you back because you got in shape, they're probably not worth your time to begin with. But also because I think for most people this won't work. Just won't work. And when it doesn't work, when the inevitable second rejection happens, it's not gonna feel great for those guys I think.
There's a girl out there right now by the name of Lizzo, and people are encouraging her to do everything except what would save her life, which is lose weight.
No, but it's like.
And there's no man that they're doing that to.
Yeah, people don't tell Lizzo to lose weight. They never tell her to lose weight. They never make fun of her for her being fat. That's not something that happens.
It's never happened in the history of ever.
They only tell her she looks good. That's the only thing that happens. I'm definitely not doing that right now by insinuating that her life is in danger for some reason, even though I...
Also, I've said it before. I'm going to say it again. Fat people know that they're fat. They've been told their whole life that they're fat and that they're going to die. You don't need to tell a fat person they're fat. They know. Okay? You don't need to. You actually don't need to do that. Denims, are you sure? Just like let them do whatever the fuck they want to do. I feel like if we want to criticize Lizzo, we should criticize her music. Like if she puts out a song that's trash, yeah, I'm going to criticize her for that, right? Because, hey, where are the bangers? That's her job. Her job is to make good music. We can criticize her for that. What's the point of calling her fat? It's so confusing to me. It's so weird.
I have fucking no idea what's going on.
There's no man that they're out there saying, make sure when he take his shirt off, we let him feel good about his body.
You're right. But
Me when I make up two people in my head and then get mad.
Yeah, but Denim, sometimes fat people look happy and they might have forgotten about their fatness. And it's our duty to remind them.
These double standards. You know, women these days always doing double standards. I love concern trolling. I love selective outrage. It's so fun. Lizzo sings and dances while fat. Nobody bats an eye. But then one little Rick Ross takes off his shirt and everyone loses their minds. Fat shaming men is bad only because we also need to be fat shaming women. That's my stance.
do you go around fighting people who think the world's flat? Do you go around
You're like,
fighting
you're
them?
harming society.
No, well, because in the case of transgenderism,
I love bringing genocidal maniacs onto my dating advice podcast.
Transgenderism must be eradicated from public life entirely.
if we accept transgenderism at all, even for one single adult person, that means that certain things will change in society. Women don't get to have their own bathrooms, women don't get to have their own sports teams, women don't get to have their own specific rights and places in society. Protections in civil rights law, they lose that because some men can say that they're women.
The phrase transgenderism is a very sneaky.
How do trans people existing ruin my rights as a woman, huh? Huh? Hello, Mayor Cat. I just don't agree. I just disagree that this is happening. Oh, who's a little Mayor Cat? I know you want to go on the keyboard. I know. He's like, I want to go step on the keyboard.
Denims trans women are too cute, lessening cis women's rights to be objectified by random men.
Who wants to step all over my keyboard? Does it work? Why does it lie? Okay, we're back to the video.
Little trick that these guys use, because it's taking one thing that exists, which is trans people, and shifting their existence over into this ideology. So when you say, you know, we need to burn this ideology in a gas chamber,
Eradicate it.
you're not talking about the people. No, you're talking about the ideology. I would never say that about trans people. The people who are trans, the trans part needs to go away. I didn't say we should eradicate Jewish people. I said we should eradicate Judaism with camps. That's what I said. The woke media is misrepresenting me and being so...
He doesn't miss. He don't miss.
Just mean to me. I'm gonna poop my pants. I'm gonna cry. Okay.
I make a lot of content that is focused on being pro-marriage, being pro-motherhood, being pro-wifeliness, pro-man, pro-woman, masculinity, and femininity. And for this, I often get labeled a pick-me, to which I just wanted to say I would rather be a pick-me than a skip-me every day of the week.
This isn't even your bit, okay? Just Pearly Things said this first.
I'd rather be a pick-me than a skip-me.
You little bit biter, you're stealing somebody else's bit. It is funny though, because these channels are all clones of each other. Tradwife, anti-feminists, a dime a dozen, these channels. And you can see them all clawing their way to gripple onto the Andrew Tate algorithm thing. Oh, let me get some money. I'm gonna get so much cash bags. And they can't even come up with their own shit, you know? It's awesome.
Being picked is awesome. So I hope that you find this message helpful out there, you bitter women.
This was a very helpful message. All you have to do is adhere to patriarchal politics. Just do it and you'll be picked. That's simple. Just fall in line and make anti-feminist content and men will like you, okay? It's that simple. If you believe something that men don't like, stop believing it. Just stop, okay? Pick-me's are fun, especially the ones that have already been picked. Like this lady, I think she's married and pregnant or something, because they can use that to justify literally any sort of political position. I do think it can be reductive the way that phrase, pick-me, gets thrown around. Not because I don't think it's true, but because it doesn't really capture the scope of what things like, you know, internalized misogyny or internalized racism do, or just how prevalent they are. You know, women advocating for patriarchy through words or actions is very common, and not all the women doing that are doing so to get picked. They're doing so because these are massive social systems that affect all of us subconsciously. But the people doing it for money on the internet are pick-me's, for sure, 100%. Playing the hits to the audience, we all know it, it's easy to see. You being picked by your husband is not your end goal. Your end goal is to be picked by the male viewers of this content. The ones that comment saying, this lady's so real for that, this is the only woman we're gonna allow to speak. Take my updoots, ma'am. Okay, everybody, that's enough of this crap. Sorry. I'm sorry to expose you to this radioactive sludge. Once again, I try to post more frequently, but I keep not forgetting. I keep getting upset by watching all this stuff. I get upset and then I take a few days to try and not be upset, and then I watch it again and get upset. So maybe I'll do something fun soon.
Gosh, good video. Let me let him finish the video before I move on to like the next topic really quickly.
Next time. Ooh, wait, I have an idea. In the description, I'm gonna leave a Google Forms link. Submit a fun, cute, good dating story from a first date or any type of date, any type of person. Submit it. Let me hear your stories. We'll go through them next week, and it'll be a fun time. Palate cleanser. Thanks again to my patrons. Such a good group of folks, and I'll see you when the bye-bye.